I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I'm diving into a solo playthrough of Children of Morta, the board game. Solo, although I will be controlling two characters because I like the interaction between the characters more than I like playing this game solo. We're going to be diving into the second mission. The first mission is a bit of a training. Oh, we got... whatever. The first mission is a bit of a on training wheels, kind of giving you the general idea of what the game has to offer, and the second mission introduces a few new concepts. This is my second time playing the game, so forgive me if I make mistakes. I just felt it was kind of fun to go through this, so this is probably going to be a solo Sunday video, although I don't actually know. We'll see. We'll see. I have a backlog of solo Sunday videos, so at some point they might have to overflow into not being Sunday. But anyways, Children of Morta, this is from Dead Mage Games and Rooms Games, and Lucky Duck, I believe, took on distribution of this one. This is not a review, but I will say the first scenario had me having enough fun that I was like, let's go ahead and play it and do a film playthrough. I generally my film playthroughs are usually going to be either sponsored playthroughs or games that I specifically know that I'm enjoying. It's usually one of those two things, because anything else is just not worth doing. Anyways, we played through the first scenario. We're gonna just walk you into this. I don't care about the story. Maybe I'll read you the story. I don't know if I care about the story. This is based on the video game, by the way, so if you play the video game, ta-da! I have not played the video game, although now it occurs to me I should look into it because now I'm intrigued. Anyways, Grandma Margaret told them if they were to reach the summit and destroy this evil, as their ancestors had done in the past, they would need the assistance of the sanctuary given to the Bergson family by Ree herself. The sanctuary was a gateway under the house that led to the mysterious lands around the mountain. Grandma Margaret pointed to the huge crystal at the center of the den, revealing their next task, to activate it and open the way to the corruption source. Ree's three spirits must be gathered. Once they were all together in the sanctuary grounds, the gate to the top of Mount Morta would open in the chamber. The first spirit was Anidea, the spirit of the mountain. She lived somewhere deep in the Kale-Depo cave with her guardian, Nohar, the stone golem. The Bergson's mission was now to find her. I don't care about the story at all, by the way. Like, the first scenario story, the first, chapter I played, did not make me interested in the game. The gameplay, on the other hand, the gameplay is pretty straightforward and kind of fun, at least so far, based on one play. But let's see how play number 2 goes, and I'll tell you my thoughts after play number 2, but a review will come after I dive into this one a bit more. Anyway, setup, place the location marker on here. We've done that. The chapter tile on the space, that's that over there. Shuffle the chapter 2 cards. These are over here. Shuffle those separately and make piles, putting 2 on each spot, 1 in solo, but again, we're kind of playing 2-player. Shuffle these enemy cards and place them within reach. So I actually missed a pile over here. We need these ones over here. So we're going to be adding the more scary, dangerous cards to the mix. So we're going to take these. I realize my table is a bit of a mess. I didn't really clean up fully when I was setting up. This stack should be over here. Those tokens had a cat running over them, so it is what it is. These we can move, and these we can probably move. I haven't run into these yet. We'll find out later what they do. I'll also be punching tokens as I go, because I have been punching tokens as I need them, so I have a whole bunch of tokens over here. We'll get to them if we need them. Let's go ahead and walk you through the gameplay. There's basically going to be 2 arcs to it. There's the game, and then there's the upgrading. Think of this as a roguelite. You basically have 5 characters in the game. Technically, one of them gets unlocked later. You can play as those characters. I'm choosing these 2 over here, Lucy and Kevin. And as you play, those characters are going to gather experience. You can use that experience to power up the characters at the end of the mission, which I have done so. I have upgraded his execute spell over here. So this one over here is a fun little spell. I've upgraded that because I think that could be very helpful. And I've upgraded her basic rest because, honestly, the first scenario, he got a whole lot more XP than she did, so she had less XP to spend. Both of them had 1 remaining XP, which they hold on to and save. I have also spent their money upgrading the bag of tokens. So again, this is a roguelike. You are basically playing through a bunch of missions. When you fail, you earn the XP you've gotten, and you power up, and you try again. So you're constantly getting stronger, and you're hopefully progressing. That does result in interesting things as to what happens if you want to introduce 2 new characters who aren't powered up yet. What do you do, and how do you handle that? Especially when they have this mechanic where they can boost each other and help each other and form a bond. That's super cool, but it does leave me wondering, how do you incorporate those into a mid-game session? Those are things we'll talk about in the review. For right now, we're going to go ahead and start playing. The way you do that is our goal over here is to reach this spot on the map. That's that spot. Then proceed to the next page and defeat the boss. Oh, there's a boss. There's a boss. We might have taken an interlude to read the boss rules because I didn't read the boss rules. So when I get to that part, if I get to that part, there'll be a short little break while I refresh myself. I skimmed through the pages, but I didn't read them. So we're going to wander around the map. The first thing we do is we go to a location. We're going to choose this over here. We're going to make him the party leader. We're going to start off with him as the party leader because we can make that choice. After that, the alternate. We're going to take these tokens. We're going to flip them over. Ooch, you got a nice one over there. So we got these over here. So first of all, we're going to get some coins. Let's give ourselves some coins. We have 2 coins to her and 1 coin to him. That's going to go to collective pool, but hey, it's fun. We have our cards over here. I'm going to shuffle and deal as I go because I don't think I've shuffled these well enough, so we're going to shuffle, dealing to the leader first. The leader gets more. So in this case, he's going to get those 3, and everyone else would get 2. So we're going to do 1. This one's going to be going in the right corner because you see that little box there. It means you put it as far to the right as possible. We're going to shuffle and deal another one. We have left corner. Then we're going to shuffle and deal 1 more, and we have right corner, which is not great because he does better with melee threats. That's how he works. She, on the other hand, she does great with range either way. She's going to get 2 over here. We have a melee over here, which got another duplicate. After multiple shuffles, we ended up getting Master Goblin, Skeleton, which I find funny. And we got another skeleton. I don't know, man. That feels a little shady, honestly. But, you know, I've been shuffling in between each one, so something's wrong there. But we have these characters over here to defeat over here. Now we're going to deal with the bag building part. So we're going to start, we can choose whoever we want to start, but we're going to start with Kevin, because why not? So Kevin's going to grab a bunch of tokens in the bag. Specifically, he's going to grab 5 tokens. We've got 1, 2, 3 over here. None of our upgraded ones yet, but there's also a bad one that just takes up space, which is not helpful. We didn't get that one either. So we're going to call that a win. No upgraded tokens, no bad tokens. I am content with that. Now what you do with these tokens over here is you assign them to various spots on your board. And you could do this simultaneously. Because I'm playing solo two-handed, I find it easier to not do it simultaneously. So we're going to have Kevin go ahead and go. He has an ability over here. Once per turn, he can reroll an attack die up to 2 times, adding to my total value. But we are not doing that yet. We'll show you how that plays as we go. This spell over here can deal with attacking multiple melee enemies. So we can do 3 melee attacks, but these characters in these 3 spots, the rightmost spots are out of reach and the innermost spots are melee. So effectively these guys are not within reach of me. I can't actually deal with them right now. Although the flip side is they can't actually attack me either. That's interesting. I want to make sure I'm doing that right because I think that's the first time I've seen the Master Goblins pop up, because the Master Goblins, my understanding is enemies cannot attack you with melee attacks when they're over there. Enemy actions. Deal damage to the hero. No, maybe they just could. Maybe they could. Let me go through this over here. Let me just double check when we go through the enemy phase. Enemy phase over here. Because they could definitely do ranged attacks. So no, not that spot. A turn early. Enemy turn. Melee attack enemies in the far areas do not attack unless they have a ferocious token with a ranged attack. So I was right. These characters are basically prepping. They will show up in our zones later, but we don't have to worry about them for right now. So honestly, we're fine if we just take this guy out. These guys can't attack us yet, but they are strong. So that's why we get prepped for them, because they have 5 health and they are doing a stronger attack. That's why we have time to deal with them. I like that mechanic. It's very simple and straightforward, but it works. So let's go ahead and assign things right now. We are going to start by powering up over here. This is going to have 3 tracks. We have our health, which is basically health. We have our defense. In this case, it's our agility. It allows us to evade attacks. And then we have our boost or power, whatever you want to call it. This helps us pay for certain attacks that require it. In this case, the first thing we want to do is we want to take out the skeleton if we're able to do so. He has 3 health, which is not the craziest. We could try to boost and then try to take him out with 3 dice and just go for a straight kill, which is not the craziest at all. We do have the 1 boost which we can use in the primary attack. How do we want to handle this? I think we are going to boost. So we're going to place this over here. We're going to flip it. And we're going to put a boost into our general pool. That's something we can spend to roll extra dice as we need. But in this case, we still have a purple and a gold. So I think we have our fallback. So we're going to start with a gold attack, placing this over here. Okay. Although maybe purple's good enough. Because the gold we can use, yeah, we're going to just do a purple attack. Okay, we're going to do a purple attack. We're not going to spend our boost. So we're going to flip that to show we spent it. And then we're going to roll a die. Now in this case, we're going to roll a blue die because that's what the attack shows. We're going to roll this, and then we're going to use our ability. Because our ability that's a single 1 hit. You count the number of kind of angles in it. So that little angle dash around it is 1 hit. We're going to use our ability to attack again. That allows us to re-roll the dice up to 2 times, adding to our value. So we're going to roll again. And we got another 1 hit, this time with a plus. That plus is our critical, which means we gain an agility, which is going to help us in defense. We're going to roll 1 more time. Ouch, that hurt. So the problem is we lose a health if we roll a blank on the first reroll, and we lose 2 health if we roll a blank on the second reroll. That's the first time that's happened to me because I've been risking that just fine. And now we just did a 2 damage attack, which is fine, but it's not enough to take them out, unfortunately. And that means we are left with somebody who's sitting there waiting to hurt us. Now, there are solutions to that. We could spend one of these over here to stun them. So we're going to take that. We're going to put a stun on this enemy so that they can, I guess, suck it, I guess. Then we're going to take this over here. We could use both of those. We could use defensively, but I don't think we need to. I'd rather use powering up at this point. So we're going to place this on this and boost, because now we don't have to worry about being attacked by the enemies. And they have 1 health left. We are fine. That's good enough. Then we're going to roll for this person over here. We're going to take from their bag and draw 5 as well. 1, 2. Oh, we got our, that's the dead one over here. But we did get a nice boost as well. Ooh, we got a good one. We can roll a bronze die or whatever, the second higher die. So we did have some pros and some cons over here. The problem with this one is this one specifically wants to be used with a, we could have a double melee action, but we don't have the boost for it. We can spend this green to get ourselves a boost, which is nice, but we need more boost. We need more boost. We did power this up, so we try to take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to spend this and put it on this one. That's going to give us 2 boosts, which we're going to benefit from. We're going to roll this die and give it 1. Whenever you see a white symbol, a white one means 1, and this means you roll. So we're going to roll, and we got 1 more boost. So we got 2 boosts, and we're going to put it into our own personal supply, because she has a fun mechanic where she can benefit from having these in her personal supply to add to her attacks. Then we're going to, well, we're taking 2 attacks if we're not careful here. Am I comfortable with that? I mean, do I have a choice is the real question. We have a choice. We always have a choice. What am I talking about? We are going to spend the blue. We're going to spend the blue to give ourselves 1 defense. So we're going to, do we need to do that? No, we're going to save that for last. We're going to spend, in fact, I don't think we want to do that. I think I want to do this to give myself a boost. And then you can always use any 2 symbols to just go ahead and do an action. Not this one, unfortunately. So I'm going to use both of these. But that means I'm going to have not much defense. And by not much, I mean no defense. Because I could use both of these to do a basic attack over here with 1 die. I could even add a die, but that's not enough really to negate being hit. So I might hold on to this, because this would be rolling it would be doing 1 damage plus the result of this, which is not a high chance of me killing them. I think I might be better off with defense, because they're only doing 1 damage to me right now. So am I better off with defense and saving that? I don't love this. I don't love this one bit. I think, unfortunately, I probably am. So I'm going to take this and go defensively over here. That's going to bump my better defense, and I'm going to save this. You can save these for future rounds if you want, and I'm going to save this in this case. So we're going to resolve the enemy turns now. This enemy is going to do nothing. They are stunned. These enemies are going to move to the left over here, because that's what happens at the end of combat. And these ones over here, they're both going to attack me. I'm going to negate the first one, because I'm going to have 1 defense, and then the second one I'm going to take a damage. So this is honestly a pretty aggressively bad start. I'll say that. An aggressively bad start. Oh, once per turn, one of you may flip a token, allowing the other to add +1 to one of their actions. Then place a token on this card. Once per turn, I can flip a token to add +1 to one of their actions. That's good to know. That's good to know. I think in this case, I think I'm just going to let it go, because it's too much time has passed. Too much time. But I forgot I have this boost. That's a new mechanic for this chapter where you can help each other, basically. Alright, rest of the tokens are going to go back in the bag, because that's how that works. Oh, no, not that one. That one gets saved. It will mean that we're drawing 1 less token next round. So you can't really build this up forever, unfortunately. You're just wasting an action. But in this case, I think it was the right move, especially given how I'm going to try to power up the next action. That was the turn. We now move to the next location. Now we do have a choice, and in this case, I'm gonna go to the location that doesn't have super powerful enemies, considering that I'm currently overwhelmed as it is. So we're going to head over here. We're going to take these over here. We're going to move these out of the way, and we're going to reveal them. Hopefully they are weaker enemies. We got a 1 and a 2. Beautiful. I love that. I love that. So we're gonna get 1 enemy for both. Nothing too crazy at all. We're going to once again shuffle. This is an overhand shuffle. It should be revealing a new card each time in theory, and we have a bat. The bat's going to go to over here, the leftmost spot I can. It's melee, and it's stuck in the behind action, so we do have that. Oh, if you ever can't put enemies on the board, you're in trouble as well, by the way. We're going to reveal another one. We have a Spider Queen who's going to go over here. Those are our new enemies that we are facing off against. First player does pass each round, although in this case it doesn't make a significant difference because they both have the same token. But we're going to go ahead and roll, and we'll roll for Lucy first. So Lucy's going to draw 5 tokens in the bag. Well, actually 4 tokens, because she has that 1 token already. And then with these over here, let's see what she can do. Oh, you also automatically gain 1 boost over here and 1 boost, which is great because we can use that to hopefully do a 3 ranged action over here. This action over here will allow us to do 2 ranged attacks. Why is the Guardian's Rage better? Like, why would I ever use Guardian's Rage? I can't think of a reason, because a ranged attack can hit anyone on your board or anyone anywhere, and a melee attack can only hit specifically the melee people on your board. So I just can't think of a reason why you'd ever care given a choice. Roll matching die for color. Deal damage. Yeah, I mean, ranged attack is just better. Because multi-target melee is deal damage to 2 or 3 adjacent enemies in your close areas, based on the number of squares shown on the icon. Roll matching die for color. Multi-target ranged attack, deal damage to 2 or 3 adjacent enemies above your player board based on the number of squares. Okay, so multi-target ranged attack. 1 second. Sorry, bear with me. Multi-target melee, deal damage to 2 or 3 adjacent enemies in your close area. Multi-target ranged attack, deal damage to 3 adjacent enemies above your player board. So it still has to be adjacent enemies, so I can't do 3 right now. That's a little bit, not fun, unfortunately, because I really want to. I want to hurt them all. But I could potentially solve for that. Not really, honestly. I could try to take out the Spider Queen, who's going to do a lot otherwise. The Spider Queen is not a bad one to hit, because I could hit it with 3 blues over here. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's draw for him as well, because again, we might be using our once per turn, one of you may flip a token ability. So we're going to draw 5 tokens over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have this boost thing happening. He got that token again. That token, the terrible token. It's not helping me. So right now, looking at the board, if we do this, we can hopefully take her out. But these 2 over here, we could just do a basic ranged attack. Nope, that won't help either, because we need the blue. We need the blue, which we didn't get. I want to hurt them. Maybe we'll resolve him first. Okay, so looking at him, he needs to take out a whole bunch of enemies. Oh, and this stun goes away, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. He could do this attack over here. He wants to do this attack. He has the full damage to do it. This makes sense to do it. And it makes sense to do it with this, although we could die if we're not careful doing it with that. So we really need to be really careful over there. So let's go ahead and see what happens if we spend a red and a purple. Do we want to boost the attack? Because we are trying to take out a whole bunch of them right now. Because this is 3. This is like a level 3 attack. It's going to bring our boost all the way down to 0. I think it makes sense to do so. And I think it even makes sense to spend this over here to add a die. So that means we're rolling a this die and a this die, and possibly re-rolling dice to see what we can get. We'll see. We're going to be risking this, but we'll see. I think it's worth trying. So we get that over there, which is, first of all, we got a defense over there, which is amazing, although our defense should be down to 0. So it's going to pop up to 1 right now, because we got our critical. We have a current value of 2. Now this is where, if I roll a blank, then I'm in trouble. So let's not, 1 in 6 chance of dying. Oh, by the way, if you die, it's game over. So a 1 in 6 chance of dying. We got perfectly not that. We actually got more defense. So that's going to be our bringing our hits to 3. I'm really hoping to get a 2 on this, because 5s would take them out. I think the risk is worth it. And honestly, even with a 4, she can do this boost to add +1, which means I think, again, unless we get a blank over here, we should be able to take out both Master Goblins, and we got another defense, even better. So we got that. That's bringing our defense to 4, which means she will have to help us out, which I think we can manage. We'll use the green for right now. We might switch that later. Okay, so that brings as +1, which means we now had 5, hitting 3 of them. So we're going to go ping, ping, and ping. Oh, no, it has to be melee. So we're going to take out these 3 over here, because he can't do that one. That one's technically in range zone. So although he can't attack us either, going to kill, kill, and kill. And we're going to get 5 experience. So once again, to continue the trend of him getting more experience than her, and we're going to get the following things. We get a stun, which we're going to use to stun that guy, because why not? And then we're going to get 2 coins. And then the last one, I don't think I know that symbol. What's that last symbol? That last symbol is going to be a reward. Reward. It's not a focus. It's a stun, an item. What is it? It's a gemstone. Add 1 gemstone to your hero board. You can discard gemstone anytime to flip all used special tokens to your special discard area face up again. Okay, where's my gemstones? I don't think I got gemstones yet. We're going to add 1. You can use a gemstone to flip all used special tokens in your special discard area face up again. Gemstones may also have additional uses as the campaign progresses. Okay, seems intriguing. We got a gemstone. Then we are going to kill these guys. We did that. They're gone. They're off. They're out of sight. This one's stunned because we got that as a reward. Basically, this is what the damage they deal, and this is the health they have, and that's the reward they get. So he just had a pretty fun turn, which means now we can focus on trying to prep the overall team, which honestly doesn't really have a lot that can help us. He does have room for boost almost. He could do a defense, which does not help anyone. He could do a stun, which doesn't help anyone. So I think it's in our best interest to just generate a boost again for the team. So we're going to generate a boost using 2 tokens, and then, oh, we have to put a token. Add a place of token, because we did that. She used that. We're going to generate a boost, putting a boost token in this supply. There we go. That is good progress. Back to her. She needs to stay alive. She currently has 2 people doing 1 damage, and this guy doing an uncertain amount of damage plus a stun. Stun's going to make her draw less tokens, which is not fun for anyone. So we're going to try to avoid that. Unfortunately, her ability is not going to be super helpful. She can stun, which is honestly a pretty safe way to not worry quite as much about how things play out. And she could use a double melee over here. What was this again? This was a green. So she did a green plus, she doesn't have this. She doesn't have the chops. She doesn't have the chops over here. This takes 3, unfortunately. She might be better off. Oh my gosh, this is really not good. Like, she just doesn't have any particularly strong options right now. She could boost, which doesn't do much for her. She can provide defense. All her symbols are wrong. All her symbols are just straight up wrong right now. Double attack won't keep you alive. Do we just go for... I think we go for some agility and defense. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend this over here to get an attack, I guess. I feel like that's almost a waste. It's a single damage. A single damage does not have to do anything. I mean, it's not enough to do nothing. We'll do this single damage. Okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 over here. Oh no, I still have this one over here. I forgot. I have this one. This is the one I want. I'm going to put this on this. Okay, there we go. So this is going to go on here, which is going to be a 3 damage attack plus the blue. So we're going to get 3 blue plus the beige. That's going to be that attack. We do have to spend 3 for that. So we're going to take these over here, and we're going to see how much we can do. We got a 2, 3, 4, 5. That is pretty good. I wish I could get 6. 6 would be so much better. 6 would be so much better. But we also get that, which is gain 1 boost, so that's nice. Where's our boost tokens? I need a bunch more boost tokens over here. So we have a boost token we can add. That's the her crit symbol. And that's almost enough to kill it. Almost is not actually enough, unfortunately. So we're going to not actually be dead yet. But we could possibly take him out with this. That would be a guaranteed hit. It's a red one. It's simple. It's straightforward. We're going to spend that, and then boom. He's dead. So now that's 1 enemy who don't have to worry about. And we're going to go to 3. And we also get that, which is, what is that? I think that does damage, and we get a coin. Let me just double check that to make sure I'm right about that. That reward, I think, is just straight up do a damage to another enemy. Let me just make sure. Reward on encounter cards. Rage, sting, extra damage. Deal damage to an enemy above your hero board. So yeah, so we get to put a damage token on... I think I put the wrong tokens. I think I put like health potions on it as damage. We're going to put one of these over here on the skeleton. So that's the Spider Queen. She's gone. We still have these 2 left, and we have 2 people dealing damage to us right now, and no boost, unfortunately, which means we're probably going to have to spend... Oh, we should have used these. We should have used our special tokens. These we start with 3 special tokens. That's what these recharge, by the way. And those should have been used when I rolled that blank and took 2 damage. Absolutely should have. You can basically use it as an extra wild or re-roll a die. But you have 3 of them. So, and then once they're gone, unless you get things like this, which like refresh them. So we're going to figure out what we can do right now, because I think taking these guys out is unlikely. But we could almost certainly stun one. If we put this down over here, that's going to go there. That bumps us up to 1. Then we have to spend 1 of these. We can stun 1. So I think what we can do is we can place this here, which will consume that, but it will give us 1 agility and 1 stun. That's enough to negate them. And this is kind of a dead token, but it is what it is. Could I have used this one instead? Not really, so it is what it is. Anyways, that's going to be that round, which means we now go to the enemy turns. This one doesn't even move closer. If it's stunned, nothing happens to it. This one's going to attack me, but I have 1 defense, and this one's stunned, so nothing's going to happen. Then the stuns go off, and we enter the next round, but the next round involves us moving. Now we could, first of all, let's go ahead and get our extra focus over there. We could go to the chapter card over here. I think I'm going to try to level up a bit more by just heading over here to take these guys out. So it's another simple encounter, and we're going to head there and see what we can do. Although the flip side is resolving this one gives us a treasure. Are we prepared to go into the treasure encounter? I'm not quite sure we are, because we could try, but let's just do a simple encounter. So we're going to go at this, and the leader transfers over here. We also have a cat enemy coming to the board. Hey, buddy. Ugh. He likes snuggling, which is amazing, and I love it. it does make playing games a little hard. So we're going to, that's okay, you just sit here. I can probably play with you, okay? So we have two enemies. We have two enemies. Oh, do you want to just sit over? Okay, where do you want to sit? Where do, you tell me. You tell me. I'll move the box. We'll get the bag out of the way. No, that bag is not for you. That bag is not for you. That bag's for me. So we have these two enemies over here and these two enemies over here. We also have a health potion, which is amazing. And we have a coin, which is not so amazing. I mean, it's fine. It's good for us later. But we're going to get two enemies on both boards. So we'll start over here with Kevin. Kevin's going to grab some enemies. Let's move the dice out of the way. Kevin has a... we have a bat showing up in the left corner. And then we have a archer goblin who will shoot us because archers do shoot even when they're not in range. And then we have skeleton, another little skeleton joining the crew, which is not great, but I think it's a good time to use our, can we boost up enough? I don't think we can because we need more of this boost over here. So things are not great, but we will put everything back in the bag. This is going to be expended over here, and then we're going to see how things go. If we could not draw that thing, I mean, statistically speaking, we will draw the thing, but that's fine. It is what it is. Okay, so we are now facing off against a bunch more enemies. These tokens can go off. These are the last of the basic enemies. Buddy, please don't eat the plastic token. No, do not eat the plastic token. This over here is not for cat consumption. Okay, dear Lord. You can't eat plastic tokens. Cardboard tokens, they don't really eat. Plastic, they hopefully don't eat. I don't know, actually. We're going to draw 5 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ooh, we got a special one. Yay, awesome, good. Loving that for us. We're going to draw another 5 tokens. Do not eat the cardboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got the bad token, but we got another good token. That's going to be a boost one. So let's see how this resolves as we take out our enemies. I really wish we had more of this, because that's not enough. We can't do a super cool attack. The super cool attack was the multi-attack. So we can't do that right now. What are you doing? Who are you attacking? Who are you attacking? Anyways, we are going to start by trying to survive, because that seems like a good thing to do in general. So we don't have enough strength. I don't love it. I don't love it. We have to play a survival game. This, by the way, resets, unfortunately. Cats are off to go fight imaginary demons, knocking over my boards as we go. Again, the fun thing about this game is even if you die, you do still get the perks, and you can spend them and power up and all that stuff. But for right now, let's try to deal with one problem at a time. So this guy could try to take out the enemies in front of him. This bat isn't to worry about. The archer goblin we do. I think this guy's a pretty easy takeout. Easy is relatively speaking, of course. We could use a green and hope for the best, but that seems less likely. I think the better option is to spend this and then go for this over here, which we have this. So we're going to spend that, placing this down over here, and then we can't even use this over there. I guess we could on a ranged action. We could do that. Okay, we're going to do this right now. We're going to roll 1 green over here, and we got a 1, which we can use to kill... Wait, why did I think a 1 was enough? Oh, because we have the white. So the 1 and the white means we can take out the bat over here. The bat's going to give us a stun, which is amazing. We can stun our archer goblins, so they can't do anything else no matter what. Unfortunately, we can only stun on our board, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm not stunning, the opposing board. But then we have, so he's kind of in the clear at this point. We don't have to worry about anything else. We could use this to generate another flame, which I think is a good thing to do. We need to punch one out, though, because that's going to give us more boost that we can spend, because this one's going to need it. And then we have 2 more dice over here. We don't need the quickness, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends how you look at it. We do probably need this one over here, so I'm going to save one of these. What we're going to do is we're going to use both of these together. Oh, I used the boost. I needed the boost. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I don't love doing it. We're going to exhaust this to put it down over here and give us a boost. And then we're going to use the boost to be able to take this action over here, which is our ranged action, giving us a +1 die and a defense for that matter, but we don't actually care about the defense. What we care about is, being able to actually, because that required a boost over there. It required the boost thingy. Anyways, so now we're going to roll a gray die and a blue die, targeting one of these. This one over here, this is a ranged goblin spider, which is terrible. They're all terrible, honestly. She's not going to survive. We have to, I mean, she might, but it doesn't seem super likely. Let's go ahead and try to target the super bad, terrible goblin spider who's doing otherwise a chunk of damage to us that we don't know if we can deal with. Although, alternatively, she can use the stun for that. So maybe this is not the best time to do that. Because she doesn't have enough boost. So maybe the stun for that is the safer option, which means taking out of these. So let's go ahead and try to take out one of these skeleton archers over here. We're going to roll. We got 2 and 1, which is amazing. We got a defense over there, which is not going to help us. But that 2 and 1 is going to take out one of these skeletons, which gives us another boost. We get to get another boost token that we can add to the general pool. That's very helpful because that will let us roll more dice and taking out bad guys. So at this point, if we just take out these 2 and stun this one, we are good to go. This one has 2 health remaining. So what's the best way to take out a 2 health remaining person? We can use our red, which is going to give us another boost. This time we're going to use it for our own internal boost over here. And that's going to basically use that to deal 1 damage to this guy. But we're going to exhaust this using our token over here to be able to basically make it 2 damage. That's going to take out the skeleton archer. She's going to get an experience as well as that. Oh, I missed that. We had that as a reward. Although it's too little too late now. That would have been super cool earlier when I was trying to take out 3 of them in front of me. Although I guess that kind of negates that anyway. So fine. So this is done over here. We spent that. We can't spend that. We still have these. We have to use 2 of them to freeze. And 1 we could survive. We could just survive an attack. That's not the end of the world. So if we do that... Oh no, we could just do this here. We could just do that. We don't have to do anything there. Whoa, buddy, come on. Come on. So we're going to use these 2 over here. Which are going to go face down on this because it's not the right color. We are going to spend 1, but then we're going to spend this over here to earn 1. And that's going to allow us to basically gain an agility as well as a stun. So we're still playing a waiting game, but we have stunned that one over here. And we need our marker back on the board. We also have 2 enemies from that pile over there. So I think we survived. We survived, all things considered. This has to go over here. It is exhausted and spent. But I think it's a good enough round. It's good enough. It's not great, but it's good enough. Yeah, it's fine. It's cool. It's cool. That's going to resolve. This one is stunned, so it won't move. This one is stunned, so it won't move. This one is going to come down over here. This one also would have attacked me, but I had the defense, so I don't have to worry about that. We are good to go on the defense. This was over here, and that boost I think was at 0, but who knows at this point. Anyways, that is going to be that, which means we now go to the next location. So technically all we're trying to do is to go over here. We don't need to go here, but I actually haven't seen treasure yet, so I'm kind of intrigued by treasure. But why don't we start by going here and see what our options are? Because again, we don't have to do all the stuff. We just have to get over here, and then that's it. So let's head over here. And you always have to go to a location, by the way. You don't have a choice not to. This is going to advance. This is going to advance. Our shields are going to reset. And now we see what the bad enemies are. Because these are worse enemies, in case that wasn't clear. So, we have the following. We have, oh my gosh. This one is going to be, I think, the worst one. I assume. I don't actually know for sure how it's structured. But we're going to get 1 red. Now, I think a red is new token to me. So, I'm going to double check what it means. But I think it means endangered enemy or something like that. Nope, 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 nope. 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 Red. After placing the enemy, if the enemy is red, draw and place a random ferocious tile on that enemy. So, here we go. We're going to place a ferocious tile on that enemy. What's that going to be? It's going to be, let's place the enemy out. So, we're going to place 1 over here. This is going to, I guess the leader's probably swapped at this point. So, this is now over here. So, this one's going to get this one. And it's going to get a random ferocious tile, which makes it +1 health. And it's got an additional attack on it and that. An experience. Additional attack and experience. Okay, cool. Our next enemy is going to be one of these. So this guy's going to pop over here. And then on this card over here, we're going to do the following. We are going to get a few things. So we have to get a coin, which is helpful. We're going to get a bad enemy from this pile. And then a regular enemy. So that's going to go over here. And we're going to get a regular enemy. As well as a super special enemy. Super special enemy. Because that would be... Oh, that should definitely have been the leader. Whatever, it's fine. A cross spike. After enemy phase, distribute 2 damage to enemies in the far area. Interesting. It's a hazard. After the enemy phase, distribute 2 damage to enemies in the far area. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I'm okay with that. And this one over here is going to be an equipment. So we're going to draw an equipment card. We're going to see what we got. We have a divine gift. Gain either 1, 2, or 3. We want to gain 2 of this, but I think at this point we'll just take the money because... we might just be spending money to upgrade our pool for it the next time we play. Because I don't know if we're going to survive this. We have barely survived anything until now. So we're going to take the 3 money, and let's see how we go. Divine Gift. That's just a one-time thing, so we can get rid of that, I guess. Which means now it's time to head into the dice allocation. Where's our bags? We have our bags of tokens over here. We have our tokens that go back in the things. And then we need to pull tokens from the bag. There is a bag building aspect here, which we'll do in the upgrade phase. You'll see how this plays out. But effectively, you're slowly buying tokens and possibly getting rid of tokens as well to try to improve your pool. So we're trying to shake this around and then draw 5 for Kevin. 1, 2, 3. It'd be nice if we got 1 round without getting the bad token. 4, 5. Nope, we got the bad token. Okay, so we got some good tokens to compensate. 1, 2. We got that. Yep, we got both good tokens. Okay, I can take that as a win. The problem with purging your bag is purging your bag of a basic token means it's more likely you're going to draw that. It also means it's more likely you're going to draw your good token, so there's a balance as far as building things out. Anyways, let's try to survive another turn. Can we do it? We are at least doing better as far as our multi-attacks. Sorry, just heard people upstairs. By people I mean cats. Spend 3 to add +1 target, or 5 to add +1 target and +1 to a multi-target attack. I need to figure out... That's a cool ability. The problem with it is, let me just double check one thing. Do I have this card over here? She is this card. I assume I could add the +1 to a regular attack. Yeah, it's not entirely clear whether I can do the first part of our ability to a basic attack because of the and part. The question is where is the and structured? But let's go ahead and figure out what we can do. We do have a bunch of boost in the pool, which can be helpful. Taking out these terrible, terrible people would be amazing. Because these guys are not super scary. I can react to them. These guys are super scary. So let's get some boost into the pool. So let's spend this to put a boost in the pool. Because I want to get more boost, because I want to show you how this plays out. We're going to use all of this to basically do an action. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do an attack action on these two, hoping to survive this right now. So she's going to spend this over here. Oh, that's a melee action. That's a melee action. Can she do the ranged action? She could if she spends 2 dice. She's going to use one of these. She's going to use one of these over here as a special action. She's going to use the green over here. She's going to use 3 boost over here. She's going to roll 1 blue die. She's going to spend 3 of these to add a red die. And then she's going to spend 1 of these to add another blue die. And so she's rolling these 3 against these 2 guys here, which should be a lock for doing a bunch of damage. I'm going to call that a cock die because it's on the side. Sue me if I'm wrong over there. That's going to be 4 pips. That means both these guys are dead, which means she can now use a stun on another one. She'll use a stun on that one because that one's doing extra damage otherwise. And she also earns a coin. So she earns a coin. We might just try to walk away from the end of the scenario, honestly, because this feels like it is, oh, and then these are both dead. And she gets 3 experience. Awesome. 3 experience for the powering up phase. Yeah, I may not try to do these things over here because if I'm going to die, that doesn't feel worth it. So these are going to go over here. And she still has other things she can do right now, which is useful because she can spend these and these to try to take these guys out, which may as well, I guess. Let's see how far we can do. We didn't even need to add +1 to that, so we're going to... No, we can't. We can't do that because I'm silly, because I don't actually have the required color at this point. So let's figure out what we can do with that. We could use this... We could use this and this as a regular boost action. I don't want to. All right, let's do the following. Let's add this over here, which is going to add 1 more to the pool, because I used all these, so I need to actually spend them. We're going to add 1 more back to the pool with that action, and then do a regular attack dealing 1 damage against this. But we're going to spend this to add this over here. So we're going to take, actually no, because I think she can survive this attack. She can survive this attack, so she's not going to right now. She's just going to do a single point of damage to this guy. Okay, single point of damage, just call it that way. Done. That's that. She now still has 3 other tokens over here, which she'll hold on to for a second as we go back and forth to this person's turn. So to over here, to Kevin, Kevin needs to worry about a whole lot more. And Kevin is not equipped to deal with melee people, to range people. So Kevin might die. The only way for Kevin not to die is for him to spend some resources to not die. So let's see what we can do as far as making that happen. This feels bad, so let's take that one out because that one feels like the worst one. Also gives you the most experience points. This is also bad, but we can figure out one bad thing at a time. Honestly, this attack should not have gone in here because we know it's a ranged attack. Let's go ahead and hold on to it in general. Let's take this back for right now. We're not going to spend that. We're going to take the boost back because that's all deterministic. We can figure that after. So Kevin over here is going to try to do a ranged action, which is going to be this one. Does he have a green? Of course he doesn't have a green. That would make our life too easy. That would make our life too easy. Let's start with a melee action. So Kevin's going to do this over here, and he's going to try to take out this guy, because why not? That's going to involve rolling one this die. We get a reroll, so we're going to spend our reroll, and we're going to roll again. We got a 1 with a plus defense. That's amazing. Great. We can do it again. If we fail, we're going to lose 2 health. So let's hope we don't fail. Boom. That's another one. So that's 2 damage total. That means the bat's dead, and we get another spark into our pool as a result. So the bat is dead, which is great, and we also got 1 defense out of that, which is amazing. We have these things over here remaining. Let's flip that to show we've done that. We could do a melee action, but there'd be no reason to do so because we're not good at melee. We could spend any 2 of these. We could add this over here to give us 1 defense, which I think we will need. We'll need these. We have a potion over here. This potion is going to be helpful. Do we have anything else we can use? We don't have the green, but we could use this as a green. But is there any reason to not? I guess so, because what we'll do is we'll use this over here as a green. So we're going to use this on this, because that will allow for a stun. So we're going to stun. Well, once we're stunning them, let's see. Let's see what we can do. We have a stun, and we have the green attack. Oh, the stun was going to be that. We need to use that for this. So we're going to use this over here, okay? And we're going to use our spend over there. We're going to gain +1 over here, so now 3 defense, which is great. And we're going to roll a blue die. It's just a single blue die. We can boost it with this over here. So we're going to spend that to add another blue die to the mix. That's 2. I don't think it's likely that I'll take out the Dark Shaman as much as I'd love to. So instead we're going to try to take out this Archer Goblin. So we're going to spend 2 over here. And we got 2. That's exactly enough to, well, it's not exactly enough to kill it. We're going to flip one of these. We'll flip this one over here to do our +1, giving us +1 boost over there. That's going to kill this, and it's going to give us a coin. Okay? So now we're doing fine as far as that goes. Then we're going to use this over here to stun this guy. So we're going to stun the Dark Shaman because why not? And then lastly, we have this one left over here, which that's where we're going to use this to give ourselves a boost to our pool and deal a single damage to that, knowing that after the enemy phase, there should be 2 to enemies in the far area. This is the far area, so we're going to be able to throw those crossbikes at it, which is going to deal 2 damage to it. It'd be great if we could deal 2 more damage to the Shaman over there, because that would honestly deal just enough extra for us to benefit from it. But I don't know if we could. Alexa, set basement air purifier to 1. Sorry for the loud noise. We still have some tokens left to go, but I think we are good enough on the survival puzzle here that we can safely... Oh, we can spend this over here to roll this, and that gave us 2 defense. Beautiful. So we're not going to get hit either. So I think that's kind of going to do it. Now, technically, at the end of this, we are going to... So we survived this combat. This guy technically is going to die, which is going to give us an experience point over here, and also a boost, which is nice. But again, I don't think we're going to use it, because I think we're going to call it at this point and just make our way out of the scenario before things get worse. Because we are... Although I guess we're doing fine. Do I keep going? Do I just keep going at this point? Let's see. Let's do one thing at a time. This guy's going to take 2 damage. Because I'd love to be able to, like, just deal damage to them. That seems like fun. It seems fun. This guy's going to take 2 damage over here. This guy's going to deal damage to us, but we're just going to ignore because of our shield. And this guy, this is going to go away. And he's not dead because I didn't do damage to him. Now, this is where I could go to this battle over here and draw a Chapter 2 card. But let's see what happens. We're going to draw these. We have to find our skills. I have not shuffled these yet, so I'm going to shuffle and draw one of our personal skills, because that's what this small box over here shows. It shows that after the elite enemies, we get a treasure or a personal skill. These are temporary. This is move and deal 1. Move an enemy and deal 1 to an enemy on decoy. Okay, doesn't feel super amazing, but that's fine, that's fine. And what are your personal skills? Because honestly, these skills might determine whether I feel bold enough. The chapter cards, they can be scary. I am inclined to just call it, because I think we've got a good amount of experience out of this, and it's fine enough. Shadow Dance. Deal 1 on Shadow Cloak. Shadow Cloak. Oh, that's nice. I do like that. I do like that. That's a fun little ability. These go away at the end of each round, unfortunately. This goes away, speaking of which. But I think we're just going to go to the next page over here, and we're going to go ahead and call it. Anyways, that is basically how you play through a gameplay of Children... Oh, the boss. Reach the thing on the map and proceed to the next page to defeat the boss. This is a boss scenario. I forgot that. Fine. Fine, we're going to do it. We're going to do the boss. We're going to do the boss. So I'll be back in a second. I'm going to refresh myself on how the boss works. Let's go ahead and just turn the page, I guess. Let's turn the page. Let's see what we got. We're not doing the chapter cards. We can ignore this. We can move this out of the way, turn the page, and we are facing off against a boss scenario. Land the wishes, set up, discard all enemies, reset all your stats to their starting points. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, this is a full extra scenario. Reset all your stats, find the boss cards titled No Higher Play Status Cards. Fine, we're going to call it. We're going to call it. If you're resetting anyways, we're going to call it for right now. That's basically a gameplay of Children of Morta. The last thing you do is you get to spend your money and your experience, and you get to go ahead and spend that. Your money goes towards buying additional pools that go into your dice bag, and your experience goes towards upgrading your various skills. So for example, with 7 experience, I can bump Rest 2 to Rest 3, spending 5 experience and powering up those actions. And you can slowly bump up all your skills while doing that, which honestly might be my most favorite part of the game. Anyways, that has been a gameplay of Children of Morta, the board game. I've been enjoying this so far. There's definitely some back and forth on this, the solo puzzle. There's a fun element over here where as you contribute to this card over here, you mark off symbols in the back of the rulebook, and effectively your characters are helping each other, and you can build up a bond between those characters, eventually powering them up as you play through the game, which I think is super cool. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay, and as always, until next time, I hope you have a good one.